Hi YouTube, this is Crystal with Digital Diva Design, your personal branding channel. This video is the first in my Design It Like series, where I teach you how to recreate the web pages of some of today's most popular influencers. Today I'm going to show you how to design a cosmetic company homepage like Rihanna's Fenty Beauty using WordPress and Elementor Pro. This video will cover setting up your WordPress pages and using Elementor Pro to create each section of the homepage, including the header, footer, sliders, and product images. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and like and share this video. Don't forget to click the bell to receive notifications for my newest content.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So as you see right now, we're looking at the WordPress dashboard. At the time of this recording, I am using WordPress 5.3.2 and I'm also running the Hello Elementor theme. If you would like to also follow along with the Hello Elementor theme, I'll show you how to download this theme. The Hello Elementor theme is a theme that was created by the Elementor page builder company, and it's a very basic theme, a very light theme that enables you to design very quickly and easily with Elementor without a whole lot of extra things built into the theme. Because Elementor Pro is so robust that a lot of the elements that a regular theme would build into it, those are all created basically through the page builder itself. So if you would like to download the Hello Elementor theme, you can go to Appearance and Themes. That's if you have a single WordPress installation. If you have a multi-site installation like I have, you'll go up to My Sites, Network Admin, and Themes. Either way, you'll arrive at the same place. You will click on Add New. And it brings you up to the WordPress theme repository. Just type in hello. And hello theme pops up, the very first choice. Go ahead and click install. And then once you have clicked install, you can go ahead and click activate and you are good to go. So once you have Hello Elementor theme installed and activated, then you're going to need to also have Elementor activated as well. That's the plugin. So you will go to Plugins and then Add New if you are a single site installation. If you have a multi-site installation, you will go to My Sites, Network Admin, Plugins. Either way, we will end up at the same place. You will click on Add New. And then in the search box, go ahead and type in Elementor. And the Elementor free page builder will pop up. Go ahead and click Install and Activate. Okay, so another additional step for Elementor, because I'm using Elementor Pro, and you will want to, if you want to follow along with the full functionality of Elementor, then I highly encourage that you go ahead and purchase and download Elementor Pro. Here is the link that you can follow to the website. As full disclosure, this is an affiliate link, so I do receive a small commission if you choose to use this link to purchase Elementor Pro. If not, you can always just go to elementor.com and go ahead and download from there as well. Either way is fine. So once you get to Elementor, click on Pricing. You will scroll down here. They have 3 different options. Choose the option that works best for you. Go ahead and click Buy Now. And once you buy now, you will get the download link where you can download the plugin and then be able to upload and install it into your website. Once you've purchased Elementor Pro to install. They have some really easy instructions. You can go here to the Help Center and to Knowledge Base. And there are 5 articles here under Installation, Installing Elementor Pro. And the steps are here to show you how to install Elementor Pro into your WordPress installation. Now I'm going to assume that you've gone ahead and you've installed Elementor Pro, you have the Hello Elementor theme or the theme of your choice, and you are ready to get started. So let's do this thing. Alright, so we're back at the dashboard. We've got everything installed that we need right now. And let's go to Pages. So Pages, I already have my blog post page and my home page set up. If this is a new WordPress installation, most likely you're going to have the blog page already set up and you will have a sample page. If you have a sample page, all you have to do really is just click on Quick Edit, and you can rename sample page to home or the page name of your choice. Make sure you click Update. And then to make sure that this sets as the front page, you're going to go to your settings and let's go to reading. And on the reading settings, make sure that your home page is set to whatever that page it is that you're designating as your home page. Mine is home, and that your post page is designated to blog or whatever your post page happens to be. Actually, the post page is not really going to be necessary for this tutorial, so you can kind of ignore that completely, but just make sure that your page that you're going to be designing on is the home page, because that's going to be the front page of our design. And click Save Changes. Okay, let's go back to Pages. So we're going to go back to All Pages. And on Home Page, I'm going to click on Edit. And once this pulls up, you'll see what the home page is looking like here. I have the Gutenberg page editor set up here. Some people or some of you out there might have the classic editor. Either way, you're going to come here. And then you're going to see Edit with Elementor in the red box. So let's click that. Okay, so now we have our home page here in Elementor, in the Elementor page builder. And as you can see, it's pretty bare bones. There's nothing going on here. This info is just the info that was loaded into WordPress. And then these are just the 2 pages that just are showing up here on this basic navigation bar. Of course, when it's all said and done, our website is going to look very much very stylish, very built out, very gorgeous. So this is what we're having here. This is what we see here now. I'm going to pull up the Fenty Beauty website, and I just have it pulled up in Photoshop just because it's just easier for me to kind of get a view of it. And this is a screenshot of the homepage of the Fenty Beauty website. So most of these elements here we're going to incorporate into our own build out of our website, so or of our web page. So there's some different elements going on here that I really like. So at the very beginning we have, of course, the header and the navigation bar. We have this notification, like a site notification at the top, which actually is a pop-up. And we have a search bar. We have a slider with an image and a call to action button here. We have some products, so we'll be loading up some products as well. We have another very similar image with a call to action button, some more products, and again another image with call to action button. So you can see kind of how this website is structured, alternating between large images with call to action buttons and product as well that you can click on and get more information on. And then as you scroll down, we have some Instagram photos, and then we also have this footer at the very bottom. So we're going to be recreating many elements of this web page. And something that's not captured here on the Photoshop image is that there's also a pop-up on the live site. So actually, let's just go to the live site right now so we can see what that looks like. And I'm going to type that in, Fenty Beauty. So we're on the Fenty Beauty live website, and many of these same elements are right here that we were looking at in the Photoshop example screenshot. And even though the images here are a little bit different, I think they change it up a few, every few days. There's some elements here that are pretty much the same. So this call to action, or this store-wide announcement, is a pop-up that you can click and it disappears. She has some collapsing elements going on here with the header. We have a slider, so we'll incorporate the slider. We have a nice little call to action box here that we can incorporate, some products, and it kind of goes on. And it's something that you'll notice too that I really, really like. It has the scroll to top button. So if you click here, it scrolls the page right back up to the top so you don't have to use your mouse. We're going to be definitely incorporating a lot of these different elements here. So let's go ahead and go back to the static image that I have, and we're going to just kind of delineate what we have here. So excluding this bar right here, there's actually a pop-up we have. It looks like section 1 or 2 here, section 3. We have another section 4 with products, 5, 6, 7. So let's see if we can kind of build out some of these different sections. So let's go back to our Elementor page, and we're going to start adding some sections to this page. And that was the wrong button. Sorry, let me close out of that. Actually, I want to click on this plus sign first. And let's go ahead and just start adding. And I'm going to actually just duplicate this section 6 times. Okay, and one more. So now I have 7 sections. Actually, I lied about that. Let me delete one of them because one of those sections is the header, and we'll do the header and the footer in the next video. So right now, let's just build out some of these internal items of this kind of web page sandwich that we've got going on here. So as you can see here in this example, we have a lot of images. Now what I found interesting about this particular image here is that this is actually all one image. So let's just go back to the Fenty Beauty website, and we'll see here that this button right here is not an actual button. It really is just an image. In fact, this whole graphic here is one image that you can click on. So because of that, I decided when I created this particular graphic to mimic exactly what was done on the Fenty Beauty website, and I do have those actual images. So let's go ahead and start adding some images. I am going to find the widget here in the Elementor toolbar to see what it is that I would like to add, and I'm going to scroll through. And the widget that I would like to use actually is going to be the image carousel. So I'm going to use image carousel and plop that into that first section. And let's go ahead and add the images. So I'm going to click here in this little icon, and I'm going to pick these 2 images here, create new gallery, and insert the gallery. Okay. So we have this kind of thing going on here where it's repeating the images, and they're not the size, they're not the ratio that I actually created them in. So let's go ahead and change this image size to full. I want to show 1 picture per slide. We're going to leave this stretch image to a no. The arrows and dots, we're going to leave them as they, no we're not actually. So the arrows are inside here I like that they're inside. I think there's a nice contrast between the image in the background and the white arrow. So I'm going to leave that as is, and yes, I think I like the way that looks. Link. Now this is what you would definitely need to do, because the way that the Fenty Beauty website is, you would, if you had a product page that you wanted to link this to, then I would go ahead and add the custom link right here. And I think that'll do for now. Now let's go to style. And then we have a choice of where we would like these arrows to actually sit. Do we want the arrows to be inside or outside of the image? And let's look and see what it looks like on the outside. So this is what it looks like on the outside. I'm not too crazy about this personally, so I'm going to go ahead and switch them back to the inside. And then also here we have a choice to place the dots either inside or outside, and I'm going to place them on the inside. Now right now for this you can't see them very well because there's not enough contrast between the dot and the background image, but we're going to change that right now. And let's go on here to color, click on that, and I'm just simply going to select white. So we have white dots there. I think it looks pretty good. And then also let's just kind of bump up the size a little bit so that we can actually see these dots. Let's see, that was interesting. Let me just type in 10, see how big. That's a little bit on the big side. Let me just kind of bump it down a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. And let's look at the image border type. We're not going to have any kind of a border. The image is exactly the way I would like it to be. So we're going to leave that as is as well. Okay, now that we have this first slider set up the way we want, I think the easiest thing to do, instead of like going through all of those steps all over again, probably the easiest thing to do would be to just simply duplicate this particular section and then switch out the images. So I'm going to click here on duplicate section, which is going to create an exact replica of what we just created. And then what I'm going to do also is actually move it down because I want these sections to alternate and not be right next to each other. So we have this second section here. It's a duplicate from the one previous, and then I moved it down to have this section in the middle where we're going to fill in some products. But let me just go ahead and switch out these images. I'm going to click here. The images come up. We're going to click on, let's edit, and let's get some new pictures in there. So we're going to just delete these. Let's go to add to gallery to get some new images, and let's go ahead and click on, let's go with this one and this one, add to gallery. We're going to insert, and we have the exact same settings, so I don't have to do anything different, which is great. And then we're going to just repeat that same process. Let's duplicate. So we have the same exact section. I'm going to grab this little handle section right here and move it down so that there is another section for the products to go right here. And I'm going to click back on this image, go back to the image carousel gallery, edit that. Let's delete those. Let's add to gallery. And I'm going to choose my last two images, which will be this one and that one. And add to gallery. Insert. And now we have these nice new images. It looks so good. I love it. Okay, great. So now we have a little bit more of what's going on here. Now you can really see kind of what's happening. And our page is really starting to come together. Okay, so now we're going to add our products to this web page. So you see here, I have this blank section. I'm going to add some more sections to this section. So I'm going to add an inner section here, and let's add 2 more columns. So I have 4 columns total. So okay, great. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm going to do is just to mimic what they're doing here. We have the image, we have a headline here, we have the name or the product, and then we have the price of the product, and then some of them over here have some ratings where people have left reviews. So we're going to try to mimic this very same thing. And to do that, I am going to go to the Elementor widgets. Let's scroll down, and I think I'm going to use this image box. So let's go ahead and put this image box in here. So this is great because it gives me kind of all the information and the elements that I need. I think I'm going to add just one more element. Let's add a text editor on the bottom of that one. And then we're going to also add the star rating. So let me find that. There we go. Okay. Now let's go ahead and format this thing so it's looking like what I want it to look like. I'm going to choose the image, and I'm going to choose this very vibrant. Which one am I going to choose? Actually, let me think about it. Let me choose, I'm going to choose this one here. The Orchid Lipstick. And I'm going to adjust this image. See, it's already on full. Let's go to Style. We're going to make the width 100%. Okay, that looks good. All right, and let's go ahead and style some of this here. So, let's see, we can mimic this online exclusive. So I'm going to go back to the content, and we're going to just fill in the new header and a new description. So we'll just go ahead and just kind of mimic what we have on the actual website. Exclusive. And for the description, okay, so that's going to be our description. And actually, just to add a little bit more here, I'm going to go to my favorite lorem ipsum generator, and it's called Cupcake Ipsum. So if you ever want to find some really cool, just really cute placeholder text, then I love to come here to Cupcake Ipsum. Let's go ahead and copy and paste this. Actually, I don't need all of that, just maybe that's enough. And I'm going to paste it here after Creamy Orchid. Okay, that looks good. This section here really is just one line, so let me center that. Not sure why it's, okay, there we go. Really it's just one line there. Let me just see what we have. Right, that's the price. So let's just say that this is, I don't know, $55. Kind of expensive lipstick, but all right, that looks good. And then we're going to take this rating and let's go ahead and center that. Yeah, that's not too bad. Either way. So you can choose either one. If you want this outline effect for these stars that are not colored in, you can do that. If you want solid, then it colors them in solid. Of course, I'm sure you can like go through and we can change the colors of all this, and we'll do that in just a second. But let me just go ahead and format all of this first. So online exclusive, let's go back to that. We'll go back to style. Scroll down to content. Everything here looks really good. Let's maybe change this to just a black. I think that's fine. Typography, let's see what we have here. I actually like this type, but I think I would like for it to all be uppercase. So let's change that to uppercase. Let's go ahead and change the actual font size. Let's make it a little bit smaller. That's not too bad. Let's maybe go through and change, change the letter spacing. I always have to add a little bit of letter spacing. So maybe 0.5. Let's see what a 1 looks like. I think 1's even better. And then for this part, we are using a sans serif font, but I'm not crazy about whatever this font is in the description. So let's find something a little bit more fun. And let's see here. Let's go with Poppins. Okay, I like that a lot. And let's reduce the size a little bit. Maybe not quite that much. A little bit bigger, like that. That looks pretty good to me. This online exclusive, maybe you can make this a little bit bigger. Let's see what that looks like. I actually like that. Let's see about the weight. Maybe we can make this a little more bold. Does it have a bold? This does not seem to have any kind of weight change, which is interesting. So I'm just going to actually lower it back down to 14. And I think for this, I'm going to use the same styling for the price here. All right, so let's go here, Poppins. Okay, and let's see, for the rating, I would like to see if we can change that. I think the size is fine. Let's see what we can do with the color. I kind of like going with this theme of this kind of like a maroon type of color. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to keep it just like this. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to adjust the margin. So let's kind of bring that margin up a little bit. Let's see, I'm going to add 10 and then I'm going to add a negative sign to bump it up. Let's maybe do 3. Yeah, let's do 25. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, so now you can see that this is definitely coming along. So we have our products here with the little headline, with a description, the price, and a rating. So now what I'm going to do is, let me go ahead and actually delete these columns, and you'll see why I'm going to do this. I'm going to delete, and I'm going to delete. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate. So I'm going to duplicate this column 3 times. So I have the exact same styling for all 4 columns. Now what I'm going to do is go in and change out the lipsticks. So I'm going to add this eggplant lipstick instead. Let me go through. Let me choose this beautiful maroon lipstick. And all these graphics that I'm showing you right here, I created in Adobe Dimension. So if you'd like a tutorial on how to create product mockups in Adobe Dimension, I would be more than happy to show you guys how to do that. And I'm just going to go here and just change out the name of the lipstick. So this is an eggplant. And then this last one is dark rose. All right, I think that's looking really good. Now the last element here is that we're going to have to add this gradient in the background like we have here. This like really pretty peachy gradient for this section. So we're going to add something similar to this section. So I'm going to go up here, make sure that you're selecting the entire section, not just these intersections, but this one here. And we're going to go to Style, to Background Type, Gradient. And I kind of already had it pre-selected, a background color, but the top color is selected at white, and this bottom color here is actually this kind of like deep mauve color right there. I've reduced the opacity so it's not super deep. And then what we're going to do too is we're going to change the location so that should stay there. Let's change the location of this white section so that it kind of falls down and below right here. And this one you can just play with however you want to. Okay, so how all my lipsticks up on the site, and I did go back and clean up some of the text here. So I did a sans serif font for all of the text, for the description, the heading at the top, the description, and the price. And then I did add a heading here at the very top just to set off this section a little bit better. The font that I use is Poppins, and that is loaded up free on Elementor Pro or Elementor, and you can also find it in Google Fonts as well because it's a free font for personal or commercial use. So now what I'm going to do is, let's just take a look back here at the Fenty website. And as you can see here, behind this image, behind this big image, there's a pattern, or there's like a little background image behind it. And so I want to do something similar. I want to add that background image to my images as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use this top portion here, and we're going to do the very same thing. So I'm going to go here to the top where it says Edit Section. I'm going to click on that. And it looks like it's already selected. I'm going to go to Advanced tab, which is already selected here. And let's just open this up. So I'm going to add some padding to the top so I can have a little extra space here so that when I load in the background image, you'll actually be able to see it. So I'm just going to go to padding. Make sure that the link chain is deselected. So if it's dark, that means that all the padding positions here are linked together, and they will all change simultaneously if you change one. So we're going to unlink that, and I'm going to go to the top portion here, and let's just add 40 pixels of padding. Well, let's just see what that looks like. That looks pretty okay to me for right now, so we'll just stick with that. Now I want to add in the background picture, so I'm going to go to the Style section. And instead of using background, I'm actually going to use the background overlay because I have a few more options here with the background overlay than just the background. And that's the way I want to use this today. So we're going to stay here on normal. Background type is going to be classic. And I'm going to select an image. So click there, choose image, and I'm going to select this image right here. And just see how that works out. Go ahead and insert media. And it's already kind of populated in there. So as you can see, this image does fill in, and it fills in the background, which is exactly what I wanted. The nice thing here is that I can play with the positioning of this. Now I have it set on bottom center, which is I think the right setting. I can choose default. Default, you see there, it kind of disappears, so that may not be what we want. And you basically just have to play around with it a little bit just to see what ends up working for you. And I think I really just liked the bottom center. This isn't bad either. I mean, I kind of like this too. So like I said, it really is just a matter of taste and what it is that you want. I'm going to leave it back at the bottom center. Let's just preview that and see what it looks like. I think that's pretty okay to me. I mean, I like that. So we're going to leave that there. The other thing that you can also play around with, which is why I chose the background overlays, you can play with opacity. So this selector right here, the slider, you can slide it back and forth to adjust the opacity of the image. So as it goes to the right, it's 100% opacity, and as you slide to the left, you get less opacity. So the more translucent it becomes. I think I like it right around here-ish. Yeah, that's not bad. You can also use the up and down arrows to get exactly what you want. And yeah, I just wanted a nice little texture in the background, nothing too dark, nothing too serious. I think that looks pretty good there. So that section is done. Let's move on to the next section. And I think we're going to try the same thing. So let's do that here. We're going to click here on Edit Section, go to Advanced, go to Padding, make sure that the link is broken so that only one area changes. I'm going to add that 40 pixels of padding. I'm going to go to Style, Background Overlay. We're going to select Classic, select the image,
and go ahead and play around with the positioning. So let's do the bottom center again. I think I liked that one from before. I think everything else is pretty much set the way I want it to be. And I'm just going to go down here and change the opacity from 0.5 to 0.3. And there you have it. So that looks pretty good to me. Now we're going to go down to the next section. And I want to try something a little bit different. So we're going to do the same steps. Click on Edit Section, Advanced, and break the link. Then we're going to go to Style, Background Overlay, select Classic. We're going to add the image, and this time I'm going to add a different image. I'm going to add this image here with the glitter. Insert. Okay, so this is going to need a little bit of adjusting. Let's see. I want the size to be contained. That looks pretty good. Let me just put it up. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. So you can see now that the image shows up exactly the way I want it there. I think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And again, like, you can just play around with all of these settings here to get the look that you want. You can also play with the opacity because it's at half opacity, so I could darken this up if I wanted it to be just really stand out and for the image to be at full opacity here. But I think I kind of like it at the 0.5. I think it looks pretty nice. But it's not overwhelming, and it does kind of fade into the background. And again, you can play with that however you want to play with it. You can make it as light or as dark, as prominent or as in the background as you want it to be. So I think I'm going to keep that like that, and that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so for the next section now, we're going to add in some more products. And let's go ahead and add those in after this image here. So I have an empty spot for these products to go. And I am pretty much going to follow the exact same formula that I did with the lipsticks. I'm going to duplicate this whole section. As you see there, it duplicated. And then I'm going to move this section below. And I'm going to delete this section so there's nothing there in between. Okay. We're going to add a couple of skincare products to this section here. Before I do that, actually, I'm going to go up here to Edit Section and back to Advanced. And I'm going to add some padding on the bottom as well. And the reason why is so that I can see a little bit more of this pattern here. So that's done. Now I'm going to go right here to this section. Let's go back up to the Elements, Widgets, and we're going to add an intersection to this main section here. So I've got 1, 2, and I think I'm going to just add 2 product images. We're going to add that one there. So the image widget, and then we're going to add a button widget as well, right underneath it. So we got a lot of things that we need to work on here for this. Let's actually just work on this button real quick. So we're going to click on this button. Let's center it. I'm going to change the text here to Shop Now. Let's make it a little bit bigger, make it medium size. Okay, now for style. Let's go ahead and change the typography here to Poppins that we've been using this entire time. So change that to Poppins. Let's transform that. Let's uppercase it. Letter spacing, I think we'll try 2. Let's see, for the actual font size, let's see what we can do. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Let's just get the reference here. That looks about right to me. We're going to keep that. Okay, and actually we're going to change the color there. Text color, let's change that to black. And let's change the background color to white. Then we're going to add a border. So let's do a solid border. Let's do 1 pixel width
And the border radius is set to 0 so that we have sharp corners. And that is looking pretty similar. What I think I also want to do is I believe I also would like to add some padding. I need to be on the edit button to adjust the padding here. So make sure that you're on edit button so you can adjust the padding for the button specifically here. And then you can change the values and get more of what we're looking for with this particular style here. So I'm going to add a little bit more on the right and the left to see if we can get a little bit more there. And we might add just a tad bit more height. Maybe I'll add a 12 to the bottom and the top. That's kind of coming together. And let me just go and adjust this font and change the weight. So let's change that. Let's see that is normal. So let's change it to like a 300 and see what we get. That's not bad. It's a little bit light. I think 400 is about right. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, that looks good. The other thing I want to do also with this button is I need to move it so that it overlaps the bottom portion of this image. So make sure that this is selected. We're going to go to Advanced and we're going to go to Margin. So make sure that you deselect and we're going to change this margin to about 50. And then I'm going to add the negative sign. For some reason, for me, I cannot add the negative sign and then do the number. I have to add the number and then add the negative sign. And that seems to work well for me. That's just how it works for me when I use Elementor. I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe it's just like a little bit of a bug. I'm not really sure what it is, but that's the way I kind of get that done. Okay, so now we have the button that's overlapping the image, and then we just need to select the image. So let me go ahead and select the image. And there is the skincare image. So that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And then what I'm going to do again is let me just delete this column. And I'm going to duplicate this column. There we go. And I'm going to switch out this image. So let me choose a different image, which is kind of like the same image, but it's a different view. But we're just going to put that one in there. And then you can just play around with this a little bit. If you want to play with the column, you can play with the column, make it a little bit wider so they're not like right smack next to each other. One thing I want to check is I want to check this button. So let's go ahead and go back. So you see how the button here, when you hover over it, it changes. Let's do the same thing. So I'm going to go back to my editing page here from Elementor. And for the button, we're going to change this up a little bit. We're just going to add like a hover animation. So I'm going to click here on hover. And the text color, we want it to be opposite. So the button's going to be black and the text is going to be white. So for text color, I'm going to choose white. For background, we're going to choose black. And I believe the border, we're just going to keep it the same. So let's just see what happens when I hover over. That looks exactly the way I want it to look. I'm not even going to mess with the border color. And we're just going to repeat that same thing with this button. Now, of course, if I had thought about it earlier, I would have made the changes on this one and then duplicated it. But just for the sake of it, it's always kind of good to see how you can do it the other way as well. So now we've got that working. And that looks great. Let's click Update. And let's get another preview of that. Okay, this is great. Things are really starting to come together and I'm just really loving the way this is looking. And let's now think about how we're going to style the header and the footer for this web page.
Hey guys, just one more thing. If you haven't already, you need to sign up to become a Diva VIP member. What is a VIP member? Well, with Diva VIP membership, you're going to get exclusive offers, discounts, and sneak peeks into my new products at Digital Diva Design. And if you sign up, you will get an instant 20% savings off of your next order from my shop. Yes, that's right. I have a shop with tons of templates and everything for your designing needs. And I'm adding new templates and new things daily. So whether it's business cards, whether it's logo and branding, if you need InDesign templates, I've got them. And if you need Illustrator designs, I've got those as well. So please come on over and sign up. It is so easy. All you have to do is just enter in your name and your email. And you are good to go. Sign on up for the Diva VIP membership. And go ahead and click on this coupon to get your 20% off savings from your next order at Digital Diva Design. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and sign up. I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye.